All right, let's skip the nonsense and dive straight into making your video podcast, the kind of thing that makes people want to listen and watch until the end and also share it out to all their friends. Yes, that's a big ask, and that means that thing is good. I mean, you didn't come here for a bunch of fluffy, feel-good stuff that sounds nice but doesn't really do anything, right? You want the real stuff, the kind of insights that cut through the insane noise void of the online world like a hot knife through butter. After reading, listening, or watching this, you will learn the following: my 9 tips on how to write the outline and script for video podcasts so that people will want to click play on it the minute they see that thumbnail and that title. I'll touch on why the focus statement is so damn critical before you write or record your first words. Create compelling hooks to engage that person who clicked on your content and keep them until the very end. The goal is completion. Use the most obvious storytelling tricks throughout to keep your content sticky. How to signpost and ask questions at the right time to transition to the next sections seamlessly. That's a tongue twister. And 3 bonus ideas that are easy to do and will give you another 10x return on investment guaranteed. 10 times 10 is 100, right? Is that 100x? Stick with me on this and I'll guide you through the jungle of content creation to a place where your brand doesn't just get noticed, it gets remembered and people want to do business with you. Do you trust me and all of Podpaste to take your video podcasting to the next level? Great, let's go. Why do you need to follow this framework? Well, I mean, hold on. You don't need to follow anything. I hope you choose to possibly think about integrating this framework into your life and your workflow. But selfishly, I love frameworks. They are great because they can be highly adapted to any one person, industry, and situation. And because this is content you found for free on the internet, take 10% and ignore the rest. It's your world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get foraging and nuts and berries and stuff for the winter. Take 90% and change the one thing to fit your style. You got it. Use that one thing to turbo boost your video podcast performance. Take 100%, all of it, because you love it. By all means, steal it and make it your own. Feel free to give me a shout out though, or us on whatever platform you decide to post it at Podpaste. That's what a framework is made for. I also want to make this super easy to follow. While I love listicle style content, the nature of frameworks makes it easy to skim, jump around, and ultimately get lost. To stop you from getting lost, I've created a framework inside of a framework. Insert South Park Inception meme.
Everyone in the dream would be in danger of never coming back.
And it's my favorite framework, the what is it, why is it important, and how to use it type. Edit from future Darren coming in. As I went deeper into writing this script, I realized this was going to be huge, like 7,000 to 10,000 words, if not more huge. That is a short book. Might be an ebook in the future. I might actually do that. Since this is a newsletter and because I have a sprinkle of ADHD, I think focusing on one per newsletter, one part over the next few months would be the best experience for you and me and my sanity. And because it's my favorite meme of all time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, first one. Number 1, crystal clear focus statement. What is it? You need to define what the main objective is of this piece of content that you're going to write. Answer questions like, drum roll, what do we want your target audience to take away from this? What makes this piece of content different from all the other content in the space that you've done and others have put out? And what is the main filter that we will run all ideas through that makes sure we keep everything focused? All these questions help in keeping this focus statement crystal clear. Learning something new? Amazing. Share this out to someone special who needs this. It's so simple. Just click it and then email it or text it or DM it or whatever you want. It's so easy. You need to make sure you're doing a combination of solving the end user's problems, answering the end user's questions, and moving people along Schwartz's 5 stages of awareness, which there's a link in the show notes if you don't know what that is. How do you implement all of this? At the early stages of creating content for your brand company, you should have something like a brand Bible of sorts that focuses on these parts. If you don't have that, now is the best time to create one. Creating pillars or buckets of content is a great way to know what to post and even when to post. These are generally subcategories that sit under or next to your industry focus. For example, I have a running brand on the side of doing all this video podcast stuff for companies and brands. Under the running umbrella, there are so many things I talk about, ranging from shoes, gear, technology, that's like one little bucket, general running, training advice, resistance, weight training in the gym, psychology, mindset, sleep/rest/recovery, nutrition, racing, etc. You get the idea. I have about 15 of those buckets, and I think every few months I end up adding another one. Try not to get too granular as it gets confusing for yourself, especially in the beginning. Keep these broad and general. Your future attention lacking. Don't give me another thing to do. Self will thank you. I promise you. I always am like, thanks for not doing that, Darren. Every industry and brand can do this, and it makes your life 100 times easier when you sit down to make the content. You're like, where does it fit in the buckets, and et cetera, et cetera. Keeping a library of ideas and labeling them is also another way, as you will get your ideas throughout the day, when you're out, when you're in the shower, when you're working out, et cetera. I've covered this in a link that is in the show notes or the YouTube description, but it's best to use a strong note-taking app that you use consistently and trust. Everything works. Pencil, pen, or technology. We personally use Notion for its modular abilities and second brain-like functions. It helps people with attention deficit disorders like myself. And that's it. You've now downloaded my wisdom and experience from my brain to yours to create new knowledge. Hooray. That's just the literal tip of the iceberg. I have 8 + 3 more ways for you to become a content creating clicking monster. So it's 11 total that I'll be going more in depth in the coming future. We appreciate your time, everyone here at PodPaste. And while this is free, thing I'm giving you, the one thing that I ask for you is to please share this out if you learned something new or I made you $1 million. Please just send it to anyone that you know. Thank you for all your time. See ya.